People who are obsessed with morality are losers, or worse, cowards. Now, I'm not saying you should be an immoral person, but hear me out for a second. We all have a very innate, deep desire to feel meaning and significance in our lives. We want to feel like we have value. And when you have accomplished nothing, and you have very little skills or competence, what is a way you can become valuable in your own mind? Well, you can create a moral hierarchy in your own head and then place yourself on top of it. And that perfectly describes a lot of the leftists out there, the anti-racist or the LGBT allies. If the main thing you have going on in your life is not racist, then you don't have a lot going on in your life. So whenever you see somebody screeching like a hysterical woman about this or that transgression, remember, most of the time they just want to feel significant. But worse than that is cowardice. Like, nobody's gonna come out and say, oh, I'm just a very risk-adverse person and this situation scares me. No, they're going to paint themselves as living up to some moral virtue, like compassion or care for the community, when in reality they are just scared. Now, it's okay to be scared, but just admit it. And don't try to present yourself as better than other people just because you are afraid. You saw this a lot during the pandemic, people who were running around with anxiety about a cold, who are trying to shame you into wearing a piece of cloth over your face. And whenever you feel like a victim, you're always going to be resentful about it. You're going to make a moral cause out of it. You're going to pretend like you are on the moral high ground. And this is just a cope, because in reality, you're just being taken advantage of, and you have no power to stop it. So the only thing you can do is create a narrative where you are somehow better than the other person because, they got one up over you. It's really fake, really gay. I would advise not to spurg out over morality too much. Actually do something to make yourself more capable, more skillful, more valuable in the real world, and then you'll have far less time to be concerned with what other people are or are not doing and how moral that makes them. And there's a phrase that's very salient in this situation. Losers focus on winners, winners focus on winning.